And just like that, we are so back. Welcome to Made for Influence. I am your host, Juliet Olabanji. If this is your first time here, you are most welcome to the softest, cozy corner of the internet for ambitious women who refuse to choose between rest and results. Today, we are talking about something that honestly changed the game for me, changed the entire trajectory of my life, of my professional life, career, business, and how I look at things. Honestly, this is understanding the difference between actions and tasks. Actions and tasks. More importantly, when you wait till the end of this video, you will know which mode you need to be operating in on any given day. And listen, I know you've heard productivity conversations before. I know you've been told to optimize your to-do list, batch your tasks, time block everything. But what I'm sharing today isn't more about efficiently. It's about discernment. It's about knowing when to clear noise, when to step strategically, and when to go in full execution mode. So grab your water, grab your juice, maybe coffee, your planner, your rooted productivity planner, your notebook, whatever helps you process, and let's get into it. Let me take you back a few years. I was running a creative agency, and from the outside, it looked like I had it all together. And to an extent, I did. I was at my desk every morning to evening, creating content for myself, creating content for clients, handling admins, selling, sales calls, delivering coaching sessions, managing projects. My calendar was full. My to-do list was unending, never ending. I was definitely busy. You know, when you're looking for the definition of busy, hey, I was the definition of busy. But here's something that wasn't matching up. My bank account. The money coming in did not reflect the work I was putting in. And for the longest, I couldn't figure out why. I was working harder than I ever worked. I was completing tasks left, right. My inbox was managed. My deliverables were on time, but I wasn't scaling. And the reason? I was confusing tasks with actions. I was checking boxes without creating momentum. I was busy without being strategic. Now, fast forward to my recent years of leading, advising, and working alongside people who are managing multi-million dollars budgets, projecting hundreds of millions in revenue, and aiming for billion-dollar impact. And here's what I noticed. They don't operate from to-do list the way we've been taught. When the risk is bigger, when the timeline is shorter, and when the goal needs to be guaranteed with stakeholders' expectations breathing down your neck, you definitely don't have the luxury of just getting things done. You have no choice but to count every single action. Every meeting has to advance a deal. Every conversation has to build a relationship, whether short-term or long-term. Every decision has to move the needle. There's no room for busy work. There's only room for momentum. There are some people that hid on the busy work though. And that's when it hit me. The masses are still focused on to-do lists. They haven't harnessed the power of micro intent. Let me give you my definition of micro intent. Micro intent is this. Every small step you take has clear directional intentionality towards a specific outcome. You're not just doing, you're moving towards something with precision. So here's what I want to teach you today. My framework for gaining and sustaining momentum. Whether you are starting all over again, you fell off and now you're getting back on, ready to take on your goal, your task, your vision, or if you have a high critical, high intentional goal that you've set for yourself and you want to make sure that you meet your goal. There are three modes you can operate in, and the key to gaining real momentum is knowing which mode your day require. So let's get into these modes. Mode 1, to-do list for noise clearing. The first mode is using your to-do list to clear noise. This is legitimate. This is necessary. This is admin, maintenance, the tactical stuff that just needs to happen, but isn't necessarily moving the needle. So these are things like organizing your files, responding to non-urgent emails, scheduling appointments, paying invoices. These tasks matter because they create space, they reduce mental clutter, they keep your business, your day, your career functioning smoothly. But let's be honest, they are not the activities that scale your revenue, get you to that promotion, or advance your goal. Mode 1 is about completion, not momentum, and that's okay. You need days or blocks of time where you're just clearing the deck so you can think clearly and operate smoothly. The problem is when we treat every day like mode 1, when we fill our calendars with noise clearing activities and wonder why we're not getting to our big goals. Make sure you know when to operate in mode 1. Mode 2, action embedded to-do list. Mode 2 is where it gets strategic. This is when your to-do list look like tasks, but each item is actually a strategic action with micro intent. Remember the definition I gave earlier? So let me give you an example. Task thinking to-do list will say send proposal to potential clients. Action thinking would say advance the Smith deal to signature by addressing their budget concerns and offering a payment plan. Same activity, different intentionality, different outcome. You can even see yourself thinking differently. In mode 2, you are using the structure of a list, but every item has directional clarity. You know exactly what each action is moving towards. You are not just completing, you are advancing. And this is where I actually love the design of Rooted Productivity Planner. It really shines in this area because it's designed around this principle. It doesn't just give you the space to list tasks. It is designed around principle. It doesn't just give you the space to list tasks. It prompts you to identify your priority outcomes for the week, and then you reverse engineer the actions that will get you there. So instead of write newsletter, post on Instagram, update website, you're writing things like nurture my email list towards the January launch by sharing the transformation story. That intent is there and it makes you think differently. Another one, build authority on Instagram by teaching the 3-part day framework. You see how your mind start thinking. Convert website visitors by adding testimonial to the coaching page. These are things that would lead me to a targeted goal. They are micro actions that will lead me to one hyper-focused goal. See the difference? Same activities, but now they are actions with micro intent. I know some of you just had a aha moment. Make sure you leave them in the comments. I would love to read them. Now, let's jump into mode 3. This is where the magic happens. This is when you don't need a list at all. You wake up and you know exactly what outcome you're building towards. The timeline is compressed. The stakes are high. The deliverable is non-negotiable. And you're in pure execution mode. This is $1 billion budget energy. This is enterprise level focus. This is what happens when you're preparing for a product launch, closing a major deal, finishing a client's deliverable, looking for that high level executive role, a vision that cannot fail. You're not checking boxes. You're in flow. You're building. You are advancing with precision and speed. And here's what I've learned. You can't force mode 3. You can't operate in this level of intensity every day. That is also culture, and we're not doing that here. But when the moment requires it, when the goal demands it, you have to know how to shift into this gear. The thing that separates women who are busy from women who are building is discernment in this shift. Every morning, every week, you have to ask yourself, what does today require? Does it require noise clearing? Then give yourself the permission to operate in mode 1. Clear the admin stuff. Organize the chaos. Create the space. Does it require strategic stepping? Then move into mode 2. Use your list, but embed every item with micro intent. Know what you're advancing towards. Does it require full execution? Then go into mode 3. Close the tabs. Turn off the distractions. Build the thing that matters. I see this dynamic play out all the time when I coach women. Women come to me feeling stuck, overwhelmed, frustrated, playing nice at work because they are working so hard but not seeing the results that they want. And almost every time, the issue isn't the work ethic per se or their work ethic per se. It's not the vision. It's not even sometimes the strategy. It's that they are operating in the wrong mode for what the moment requires. Sometimes I'll see that they're in mode 3, pushing and pushing, building, executing, but they haven't done the mode 2 work of embedding micro intent into their action. So they're building in the wrong direction. 2 degree off is 2 degree too far. One of my corporate clients came to me completely burned out. She was working 12-hour day. She had a massive to-do list and felt like she was drowning. But when we tweaked our week, we audited our week, we realized 80% of our tasks were in mode 1. She wasn't getting the visibility she needs for the promotion that she wants. She was clearing noise all day and wondering why she's not getting the recognition she needed. We shifted her into thinking in mode 2, identifying our strengths, high impact work, generating action, and embedding micro intent into our every item on the list. Within 6 weeks, she was getting the recognition she needs and she was put up for promotion. I was able to get her from confused, not knowing what our next step is, and having a blurred vision to clarifying our vision, harnessing the power of identity and calling, and launching her towards a life of satisfaction. All right, so let's make this practical. Here's what I want you to do. Step 1, audit your current list. Look at your to-do list right now. Like right now. Pull it up. Whether it's on your phone, your planner, your calendar, your Notion board, wherever you keep it. For each item, ask yourself, is this noise clearing? Is this strategic action? Or is it execution? Just label them. N for noise, A for action, E for execution. Don't judge yourself. This is not the time to judge yourself. Don't change anything yet. Just observe what mode you're operating in. You can do this for the last, 2 weeks or 1 week. And then let's move on to step 2. Step 2 is identify what this week requires when you zoom out. I need you to take a step back and look at your old plan. What does this week require? What does this week require of you? Do you need clear space before you can think clearly? Maybe you've been traveling. Maybe you're coming off of holiday. Maybe you're coming off of a launch. Maybe you just had a challenge. Maybe your systems are a mess. If that is true, give yourself permission to have mode 1 day or block of time. Do you need to advance to specific goals? Then you need mode 2 energy. Strategic actions with micro intent. This is where you rewrite your list. Instead of work on course, you write build module 1 to move closer to January launch. Do you have a deadline for a deliverable? a goal that must happen this week. Then you need mode 3. Clear your calendar, protect your focus, and strictly execute. Now, on to the next step, step 3. I want you to design your days accordingly. Here's the thing. You might have different modes on different days. Monday could be mode 1, Wednesday could be mode 2, Friday could be mode 3, or you might batch it within one day. Mornings for mode 1, even though I would not recommend mode 1 and using your mornings for that, but you know what I mean. Mode 2 could be afternoon strategic actions. The point is, stop treating every day like the same day. Design your days around what they require. And if you want support with this, if you want a tool that's actually built for this framework, that's exactly why I created the Rooted Productivity Planner. It is designed to help you discern what each week requires and plan with micro intent, not just task completion. And listen, if you're realizing that you've been stuck in the wrong mode and you want support shifting into strategic action to build a dream life, a legacy for you, that is exactly what I work on in my 3-month coaching experience. We don't just create a plan. We build identity to impact transformation. We embed micro intent into every action based on your given identity. If this resonates with you, send me a DM on Instagram. Let's talk about what's possible for you in the next 90 days. Here's what I want you to take away from today. You're not lazy. You're not behind. You're not doing it wrong. You just might be operating in the wrong mode for what the season requires. So ask yourself, what does today require? Noise clearing? Strategic action? Full execution? And then give yourself permission to operate accordingly. Before you go though, if this episode resonated, do me a favor, follow the show so that you never miss an episode, and leave a comment and tell me which mode you've been operating in and which mode you need to shift into. And one more thing, share this with someone who needs to hear this. That friend who's been busy, that friend who's been stuck, that colleague who's been overwhelmed, that woman in your DM who keeps saying she doesn't have time. Maybe that's you. This message matters. Let's get it to the people who need it. I'll see you next week. Until then, remember that you're made for influence, not hustle, not business. Stay bold, stay rooted, and don't you dare play small. I'm your host, Juliet Olabanji, and this is Made for Influence podcast. Bye-bye.